Did he really say that? President-elect Donald Trump reportedly told Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that if his proposed tariffs destroyed Canada, the country should become the 51st state, and Trudeau could be its governor. You love to see it. So, did he really say it? Well, let's get into it, shall we? Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau flew to Florida to meet with President-elect Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago club on Friday evening, less than a week after he threatened heavy tariffs on imports from North American trading partners. Trump said in a post on Truth Social that it was a very productive meeting on topics including fentanyl, immigration and trade that will require both countries to work together to address them. Well, on illegal drugs, Trump said Trudeau made a commitment to work with us to end this terrible devastation. Trudeau told reporters that it was an excellent conversation, but didn't respond to a question about tariffs. On his Truth social media platform, Trump said that he would levy tariffs of 25% on imports of all goods from Mexico and Canada, accusing both countries of facilitating illegal immigration and fentanyl abuse in the US, which quickly sent Trudeau and his team on that flight down to Florida to try and do a little bit of damage control. I mean, how well's that gone? But anyway, there are reports emerging from that event that two people who were there at the table heard this conversation between Trump and Trudeau. And that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the United States to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau should become its governor. Yikes. The tariff threat also comes as Trudeau is trying to salvage his own political career. His incumbent Liberal Party trails its rival, the Conservative Party, by up to 20 percentage points in some public opinion polls. The Conservative leader, an odds-on favourite to be Canada's next Prime Minister, Pierre Poilievre, said the incoming Trump administration believes that Trudeau is a weak leader. And the dwindling of Trudeau's career may also have something to do with this. The 70th annual session of the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation, NATO, held in November in Montreal, hit a snag on its first evening when violent activists tried to disrupt the show. Metropolitan Police were unprepared for the organised assault, and so apparently was Trudeau, who seems to have had no inkling of the possible security risks that a NATO summit in his country might present. No, the Canadian leader, he wasn't out to lunch. He was at a Taylor Swift concert in Toronto. It's not a good look, is it? The hatred unleashed in Montreal was classic anti-capitalist, anti-Semitic extremism. An estimated 800 students and activists, some waving Palestinian flags, took part in these demonstrations. They rampaged through the streets, they smashed the windows of businesses and at the convention centre where the summit was to convene. They burnt cars. I mean, it was mayhem, and the police quickly lost all control. And there was Trudeau, dancing away to Taylor Swift, exchanging friendship bracelets with tweens. Yeah, well done. On the next morning, on Saturday, windows were boarded up, police tape blocked several entrances, and there was a heavy presence of private security guards and police officers. Around noon, Mr. Trudeau weighed in with a tweet calling the riots appalling and insisting acts of anti-Semitism, intimidation and violence must be condemned wherever we see them. He added that there must be consequences and rioters held accountable. On Sunday, Montreal police said that they expected to make numerous arrests, yet by Monday afternoon, only 3 people had been detained. It's a total failure. It's a farce, really, isn't it? Just days ago, Trudeau announced massive cuts on immigration, a huge backtrack, after he called any curbing of immigration racist and xenophobic many times in the past. What's changed? There are clearly moves made now by this leader who feels he is losing his grip on leadership. It's the Hail Mary, isn't it? Fast forward now to recent threats from the incoming Trump administration. Trudeau must have felt that he needed to nip that in the bud quickly to save face. How interesting that one mean tweet from Trump resulted in Trudeau jetting to Palm Beach, Florida for a tete-a-tete. There is no way to know for certain whether Donald Trump did in fact make those comments to Trudeau about Canada becoming the 51st state of America, with Trudeau serving as its governor. And it is, of course, a near impossibility that that would actually happen. But it does sound like a far better deal than an embarrassing loss to his opponent, which is looking more and more likely for the Canadian Prime Minister. I'm Patrick Christys. Don't forget to subscribe to GBN America.